We didn't talk about this story. Tell the viewers a little bit about these women. This is a story of generations in one house. What can you tell them at this stage? Yeah.
This is a story about Bishnu, a woman like me who moves from the city to her village, and she's very unconventional in the sense that we always champion women or support women only if they are a certain way, like how the society wants them to be, you know. So she's very unconventional. She's real life-like. I think that is also why you found resonance in the film, because she is very much like the women today, you know.
Week after week, films are not doing that well at the box office. When I talk to people, we go out and ask, what do you want to watch? They always say they want to watch a good film and they will go for it. Are we going through a transition phase? People have, because the tastes have changed, or tastes are better?
I do think so. I do think so, because I mean, like 2 weeks ago, I tried to go watch any movie and I didn't get tickets Friday, Saturday, Sunday, anywhere in the western suburbs. Somewhere, if you're a lover of cinema and you want to see good films come out, you have to remember that patronage is important. Buying that ticket is important.
You know what started during COVID, this 8-week window and all this, has it come biting back, saying, now people know it's coming on OTT, why should they go to the theatres?
I think that's one factor. I think ticket prices is another factor. Definitely. Ticket prices, the prices of the food. It's very expensive for people to afford to take a family of 4 on a regular basis. 100%. It's unaffordable.
Right. What was more fun, to get that big applause at the festival or just sitting with these legendary filmmakers?
I think both, but I think festivals, because if we had not been there, I wouldn't be sitting with them.
Right. Guys, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. We are here for a good film, for a good reason. I'll start with you. I've watched your film twice already because they gave me a link. I said, chalo, before coming, let's watch it once more. Big congratulations. You know, I really genuinely feel that history will remember people, independent filmmakers who show their region and encourage their own people, tell their stories. My first question is this a lot of personal story, and that's how it came about?
It did come from a lot of my own personal experiences, but not just my personal experiences. Sure. I think the experiences of women in my community. I think this is what we are going through right now.
Right.
And it was very important for me to tell this story.
Right. You know, 3 of you coming here for this film is a big message also, and I'm very happy to be talking to all of you. Zoya, are people ready to watch these films, or y'all are here because y'all want people to watch this?
I mean, I think a bit of both. Okay. I think people are ready to watch it because filmmakers also come from the audience only.
Correct.
So there are people from the audience that are beginning to make films like this, support films and champion films, distribute films. So they're coming out of the audience only. So there are, I mean, we are not that unique. There are many people like us that exist, and I think there are people that want to watch it, and not just in India, outside India. Now the trick is to be able to amplify the message that it exists.
Correct.
And to be able to then find a system where they can access it as easily as possible. So that's a journey.
Right.
And these are the first few steps, and it's happening, and it's happening very consistently, if you've noticed. So definitely it's growing with each film.
Right. What was your first reaction when you watched it, and how do you decide that this is the film I want to back?
Well, I mean, before I watched it, it was the name. Momos happened to be one of my favorite foods.
So that was easy.
That was easy. But also coming from the Northeast, it's very refreshing to see real representation of the Northeast in mainstream and popular culture. It actually doesn't exist.
Right.
And it's very heartening over the last couple of years. It's been happening, and it's been happening consistently.
Right.
So, I mean, there's no way I wouldn't be here to champion this.
Right. Rana, through Spirit Media, what you're doing is incredible for cinema. This is not the first one. Again, same question what I asked Reema, that, many people will come to you with their independent films and small films and short films. What is the priority for Spirit Media right now?
Well, the priority is that at some point in this country, like filmmakers like Satyajit Ray and others were mainstream filmmakers.
Yeah.
They were considered the best in that town, in the land, and that audience, that habit of cinema or all of that kind of went away somewhere in this bifurcation of language, industry,
Correct.
chasing numbers, streamers. Only some type of cinema survived, the others didn't.
Right.
Which doesn't mean the audience left us. It's only the ease of business that is making these films happen. It's just that we haven't dwelled in territories different.
Correct.
What has happened now is we've understood that there's a large audience of subtitled India or English India in
Yes.
some ways, that it doesn't matter where the language is from, it's a culture that you connect to, and English becomes an easier
Right.
subtitled piece to read. And what this also has is it's coming from really the diverse lands of India. Like as
Right.
much as we have these 7-8 industries making films, a love story or a regular action film can sit in any of the industries and look pretty much the same. It doesn't go into cultural authenticity or give you a lay of that land in a clear manner. It's a fiction of that land it gives you. And I think it's only films like Shape of Momo and others that bring out the life of people, culture of people, and almost in a large sense this is something that I heard growing up when I was younger, but I don't think anyone uses the term anymore. In AVM studios, they used to keep saying it. These are films, these are movies. Movies are just made to be big, happy, entertaining, and get the large audience. Films are meant to tell a story and give you a direction to live. Like that, the old world thought of it like that, and I feel like somewhere we're trying to find that distinction again, and say that there's also cinema like this that you can go on to every weekend. And this, I feel, is the truest global representation of India. We've gone with different types of movies to different places, but this is the only cinema that is alternative, unique, very deep to our culture and roots. And when you speak of Shape of Momo, this is something, the relationship of just women is just not, though it's integral to every single household in this country. And we talk about family values. It's been never represented in a film the way Shape of Momo does, and I think it's just exciting to watch movies like this.
Right. Representation is a good word you use. I want to ask you, so far, if a film was, or anyone who wants to answer, when a film was set, set somewhere, say Kashmir or Northeast, the cop will be from Mumbai. Either Singham will go or Shrikant Tiwari will go and solve the case, because Mumbai police can only solve the case. Rest all is backdrop. Why is it? Did we live in a la-la land, or are we delulu that we think people will believe only this is how the world works?
No, I mean, to just jump in there, I think that it's not something of the past. If you see the ideal man and woman from your popular culture, they are they're from the Hindi belt, and they are again not really distinct which belt in the Hindi belt, and it's just homogenized.
Correct.
And we have a very, very diverse, beautiful country, and I think the more we encourage films like this, the more that will come out.
Correct.
And we produce so many films, but we are only known for that one big dance, that kind of thing, which, I would like India to be known for all kinds of films, because we've been making it, and we've been making it consistently.
Right.
And I do hope the Indian audience at least comes out and supports films like this, and kind of, helps independent filmmakers.
Right. And cops can be from everywhere.
No, but if we're talking about films, see, we have so many industries within one large Indian film industry is broken up into many industries. So that is quite unique to us. But having said that, if you see a film which is made in Tamil or in Bengali, they are not using a Mumbai cop.
Correct.
But I'm saying from Mumbai, we are making films for the Hindi-speaking audience. And therefore, we do and we make our heroes that relate to that audience, mainly, primarily. So I look at it that way. But which is why it's even more important to have these films that champion their own heroes.
Absolutely. Right.
And their own narratives.
Right. Was this indie in true sense, like, when did people come on board and how, when you started making it, I've grown up in a house with all women. So these kind of stories are very close to me. I feel this is my family. Did it start like an independent project?
It did. It still is. I think when I started writing this film, Nepali is a minority language in the entertainment industry in India. Though there are, huge Nepali population in India, and Sikkim, where I come from, the film industry is in a nascent stage. So when I started writing this film, I knew I had very big challenges ahead of me. Language was one. I don't have industry, so just to get a professional camera set up to Sikkim was a challenge, because the nearest cities are Kolkata, Kathmandu, Guwahati, Delhi. So that became a challenge, but I knew it was very important to tell this story. Challenges came along the way, and finally, I think when people started resonating with the film through the festival journey,
yes, right.
I knew that we had done something right. Because I think when a story comes from a place of honesty, I think people are able to resonate with it. And when voices like Zoya, Reema, Rana, and Payal, when they come, it sort of empowers the whole journey. Because it gives a lot of credibility, but also it makes a person like me believe that there are people who love cinema, and they've just come for that reason, because they love films, So hopefully the kind of challenges I faced, everyone else is facing, but I hope that the kind of opportunity that I got, and our film will open these opportunities for other fellow filmmakers.
Out of all this that you said, what was the biggest challenge?
I think funding was the main challenge initially. I didn't know where to get funds from, and people say you are stupid to put your own money in the film. So I was like, I had written it and I was sitting with it, so I thought I had done some gig with Doordarshan, I had saved some money, and my mother, who's a primary school teacher, she had just retired, so she put all her savings in, and that's how we got started.
Wow. These are also stories. This is how Hindi cinema had started. If you go back and talk to filmmakers and everyone, writers, producers, they sold their property, land, and flats and mortgage everything. Does this remind you, these kind of stories remind you that this is how revolution
that industry was built like that. It was actually a family business, because people put their personal money in and their entire family worked in it, because that was their business, and then now it's recently become an industry and stuff, but this is also going to start like this and find its own mechanisms.
Right, but one should also be realistic about it, because there are both sides to it. We've also then heard stories, iska ghar doob gaya, then like they could not make it.
It's a gamble.
Yeah.
It is a gamble.
Yeah, it is a gamble.
Yeah.
Rana, if there are filmmakers like her in different parts of the country, what would you like to tell them? How should they go about it?
Advice is hard. See, one is why I'm not in a place to give advice in some ways, but it's somebody that just follows their heart and finds whatever means there is to make a story. And I think today, whether it's with technology, whether it's access to resources, is far easier than it ever was. Like things like finding a camera, finding the right people, finding a group of enthusiastic young people that are willing to work and tell a story. I think just build your tribe, build your people, because the first group of people they are your audience that you need to start convincing to tell a story.
Correct.
If you find that group, and if you're able to go ahead and make pieces of your vision, sometimes it doesn't have to be the whole film, it can be pieces of it. Today there's enough mechanisms to reach out, and is there a set format for how your film will, like I have many filmmakers who come to me with films who say, okay, can this be a 50 crore film? Can it be a 30 crore film? Like this is not that world for you. It's like a newborn. It's like a first step that you're taking. It's a industry that's not there. Like you are one of the founding people that is starting this industry. I think that's actually the energy you come with, as opposed to there will be this mainstream world that will take you. It's you're trying to build an audience first. You're trying to build a taste. It's building, but it'll build slowly. India is a huge country to kind of maneuver. The audience will be different. I think it's starting to understand people and seeing where your story goes. I think just that's that's the effort and that's the energy.
Right. You know, we didn't talk about this story. Tell the viewers a little bit about these women. This is a story of generations in one house. What can you tell them at this stage?
This is a story about a very unconventional hero, protagonist, Bishnu. I think, you know, growing up, I saw a lot of women on screen that I did not resonate with. Especially, I think also where I come from, I did not see people who look like me on screen, you know. So I always used to question why are our stories not being told, and why are we not the hero of our stories? So this is a story about Bishnu, a woman like me who moves from the city to her village, and she's very unconventional in the sense that we always champion women or support women only if they are a certain way, like how the society wants them to be, you know. So she's very unconventional, she's real life-like. I think that is also why you found resonance in the film, because she is very much like the women today, you know. So yeah, and it is a family film. It's very we have worked really hard to I mean, work around the complexities of the characters, again because of the representation, because whenever I see a film from my region, I don't think that they get the kind of dignity a character should get on screen, you know. We are just simpletons, and I find that very disturbing. And I'm not saying that, you know, I am not complaining because I cannot expect a neighbor to tell my story, you know. I think we should be telling our own story. So yeah, finally telling our own story from our place where we are our own heroes.
Right. You know, three of you, you know, you all take out time and you all also encourage cinema. A lot of filmmakers, storytellers look up to you guys. Everybody is doing their bit. What should people do? Like, do we also need, say, a government to step in to just encourage more films and, you know, more filmmakers, get funding? Are we there? Can we expect that?
I mean, if you look at most of the European industries and stuff, they have a government fund that does push independent cinema and pushes cinema that should not be bound with the constraints of commerce. So they want to push their culture, they want to push their stories, they want their culture out in the world, and they want to preserve the art form of cinema, of film. So yes, of course, any help would be great. NFTC used to do that, and even now I think the Film Federation, they still do that. So that is very important. And if films get traction abroad, maybe they can help push that. Maybe they can help the filmmakers to travel, to do those kind of things could help. But I think the audience needs to patronize. I think the real thing is the audience needs to get in there and actually put their money where their mouth is. You know, you keep saying you want different things, but now only when you start playing for it, or even on a streaming platform, pressing play, that and making that algorithm happen, I think those things will make the biggest difference.
Right. Yeah. You want to add anything? That where can we step in to encourage more
audience? It's like saying these, I mean, sometimes it'll be like saying read a book, it's good. Like there is something that is good in terms of art as taste. Everything is not consumed very, very quickly. There's a certain algorithm habit that's being rubbed on you.
Correct.
I'm saying break that matrix, this is the world. So any help from the government, yes, of course, will always be very happy for it. Like Zoya was talking about, there's so many European or even Asian countries that believe that cultural export in cinema and music do that. It's some place and voice in the world for them. In India, I think we somewhere suffer from many. We're like, okay, we have so much of this, we have such a big market, and we kind of don't look towards the globe as a market. So I think that lens from a government would help filmmakers and journeys of film cinema like this. Then the audience, it's really, we've been able to find slight growth every single year in terms of audience consuming cinema like this. But it's owning it, like I like the word in today's interviews, being a patron of cinema like this is actually what will carry this art forward. I think the art industry in some ways have figured that out in India, where whether it's through art events, binales, communities of people who consume art, they found an ecosystem for it. It's small, but it's still in ecosystem in some ways. I think
Got it.
cinema in this alternative world needs that as well.
Right. Week after week, films are not doing that well at the box office. When I talk to people, we go out and ask, what do you want to watch? They always say they want to watch a good film and they will go for it. Everybody wants to make a film, but a good film, but everybody doesn't make. Are we going through a transition phase? People have, because the tastes have changed, or tastes are better?
100%.
I do think so. I do think so because, like 2 weeks ago, I tried to go watch any movie and I didn't get tickets Friday, Saturday, Sunday, anywhere in the western suburbs. There were all kinds of films. Most of them were, I think, Hollywood films. But people are going to the theatre.
Okay.
It's what for me, I think the biggest problem for smaller films like this is somewhere especially the Hindi-speaking audience has decided, I will go to the theatre for this film, and this is an OTT film.
Yeah.
But somewhere, if you're a lover of cinema and you want to see good films come out, you have to remember that patronage is important. Buying that ticket is important.
Right.
Because you can watch it on OTT, but the streamer is what's making you're paying a subscription to.
True.
And nobody who's worked, written, directed, shot or done anything for the film really gets anything from that.
True. What started during COVID, this 8-week window and all this, has it come biting back, saying, now people know it's coming on OTT, why should they go to the theatres?
I think that's one factor.
One factor.
I think ticket prices is another factor.
Definitely.
Ticket prices, the prices of the food.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very expensive for people to afford to take a family of 4 on a regular basis.
100%.
It's unaffordable.
Right.
Also, distances. We don't have enough screens. So if you want to go watch a film, you're spending an hour and a half getting to the theatre. Then you're spending 3 hours in the movie with the break. Then you're spending it's a lot.
Right.
Like
So there are too many factors.
Like
you know?
5-6 hour investment in today's time. So I think that it's and the more screens you have, the possibility of niche screens.
Yeah.
Like Rana was saying earlier, that maybe independent films perform better in smaller theatres. So it's things that are being kind of made for a little bit easier.
Correct.
Where you don't have competition. The other thing is, like, if you see independent films do release, but the show timings they get, the kind of screens they get, all this is very, and nobody's writing about all that.
Yeah, you can't
They're
give
just
them
saying,
screens, and then you can't turn around exactly and say, oh, it's made such little money. First,
Yeah.
it was made on such little money,
Correct.
and you're not giving them a fair play.
Right.
These films have to grow. They're word of mouth films. So it's not just one thing.
Correct.
It's
many-
an ecosystem.
Yeah, it's an ecosystem. Right. Now, lastly, we want to end and talk about your film. What is the release plan? Where can people watch it? Where?
So this Friday is where it's out.
Okay.
It will be in 15 cities at the same time. It will be about close to 25-30 screens on day one.
Wow,
and then after that, then kind of understand. This was actually particularly a different journey because of the language.
Yeah.
I think the first time we were talking, we was like, yeah, there's a bit of Hindi too, but it's Nepali. Like, where are we going to put this out? Then starting to understand which towns actually can champion this. Gangtok, there'll be a big premiere. And then post that, want to understand how Cal reacts because there's a larger community there.
Yeah.
Bangalore has a very large community. So I think the week of the release will be just listening carefully and finding who got, and then that's where the scale will lead up to.
Great. It will be the cinemas, nothing better like
yes.
it. Lastly, to you, I'll put you in a spot. What was more fun, to get that big applause at the festival, or just sitting with these legendary filmmakers?
I think both, but I think festivals, because if we had not been there, I wouldn't be sitting with them.
Well done. Right. Thank you so much. You
Thank you,
entertained
thank
us
you.
and really well done. Thank you.
Thank you so
and
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You all are
you.
backing these films and people get to watch it. It's so important.
So please go.
Yes.
do encourage all your viewers and readers.
Definitely.
to
Like I said, I watched it twice.